Hello everyone and welcome back to QuipScope. It's the show where we talk about a new game that's come out or coming out or is maybe out today at time of release. How exciting. My name is Peter.
And I'm Ben.
Hello Ben. Tell me what you've been playing.
I've been playing Disintegration, Peter.
Disintegration? Wow. What's that about?
Well, I'll tell you. Firstly, though, you may remember, actually, I believe it was one of many trailers that we saw probably at Gamescom last year. Do you remember where they showed off loads of stuff?
Yes.
And this was one of them. It's a brand new game from a new studio called V1 Interactive, and sort of the major hype that leads into this game is that it comes from one of the co-creators of the Halo series.
Absolutely. I remember that being one of the big selling points at the time when it was shown off.
Yeah, so it's the debut title for his studio, and as a result, you know, from what you can see at the moment, you can tell, you can sort of see where its DNA lies. You know, it looks a little bit Destiny, it looks a little bit Bungie, it looks a little bit sort of, I mean, I don't want to say Anthem, obviously, but I've just said it. That kind of robot people sort of vibe, and that sci-fi future vibe.
Futuristic for sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
Futuristic military, yeah.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And it's, you know what, it's a very unique style of game.
Okay.
I didn't know what to expect at all jumping into this. I was thinking some sort of first-person shooter where you're, you know, boots on the ground, running around. Maybe you have sort of warlock powers similar to Destiny, that kind of thing, because you look straight at it, and the Destiny comparisons are hard not to draw. Certainly in the CG trailer, but when you see it actually being played, it's a combination of first-person shooter and real-time strategy game.
Oh really? See, I also didn't know what to expect, but like other than the as you say, the sort of Destiny vibes you get from it, I thought there seems to be quite a sort of vehicular, possibly even Titanfall-esque or like mech thing going on, but that surprises me that you say it's got RTS elements.
Yes, the whole thing is built around it actually, and the vehicle. You do get to walk around from time to time, but it's just in sort of a hub area where you can talk to your fellow bot boys and bot girls, and also chat to sort of voiceless androidy robot things that give you challenges that you can then undertake in the next mission to get bonus stuff. So there is a single-player narrative campaign with cutscenes in between the different missions, and the guys and gals that you have on your team are fully voice acted, and they sort of bicker and go back and forth. So it's not just like, when you hear RTS, often those games don't really have an overarching narrative. It's just create a unit, and there goes the unit. Oh no, the unit has died. That isn't the case here. These characters actually have, it's sort of XCOM-esque. They don't die permanently, but they have names and they are actively involved in the story, and they talk about story things during the game. Even though it's presented from, I mean, pretty much any perspective you want, to be honest, because the Gravcycle, which is the vehicle, is what you are riding at all times.
Okay.
So you are Romer Shoal is his name. And he's a really cool bot boy. He's got trousers and a leather jacket, so you know that he means business, right?
Yeah.
You look at that guy and you think, wow, cool man. Bot.
He's like the James Dean of futuristic battlefields, right?
That's what it says when you start up the game. It says this guy is the James Dean of futuristic battlefields.
Yeah.
And this Gravcycle, you can sort of just ride it anywhere. You can be close to the ground, you can be high up. You have to, being a Gravcycle, you have to make sure that you have ground underneath you. It doesn't just hover off, nothing. But on it, you can shoot, and you can command, and you can take damage, and heal your boys and girls, and also command them as well.
Right.
So you are not only telling your people what to do, where to go, who to shoot at, what powers to use, because each of your squad mates has special abilities that you can use, but you're actively shooting and taking damage at the same time from this elevated position. So it's a really unique blend of first-person shooter and real-time strategy that I personally haven't seen before. It's just a really unique take on it all.
I really like that in any shooter game, or I guess in any sort of military battlefieldy kind of game at all, where there is that element of individual personality attached to characters. Like you say, with an RTS, it's very easy just to sort of send in the clowns, as it were, let them die, and then make some more clowns. And it doesn't matter if they die as long as you eventually take the base. But as you said, the XCOM comparison is a lot more intriguing. The idea that you can probably get quite attached to certain characters and think, okay, you've got to be careful here. I mean, as you say, they don't die permanently, but equally, you can see your friend whose name you know and whose personality you know in the thick of it, and thinking, oh God, don't do that. That's silly. Or oh yeah, you go, girl or boy. How much of the story did you sort of see?
So I got through the first 2 missions. So I played it for I've so far played it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right. Okay.
And the story is surprisingly involved, more so than I was expecting. Again, for this style of game, it could just be like a hero shooter, where it just doesn't really matter. Each character has a trailer on YouTube you can watch or something like that. Yeah. But that's not what it is. It is a real world. It's our world. It's Earth, and it's apparently 150 years in the future. The world has collapsed, society has collapsed because of climate change, and humans and Hugirls have had their brains put in robots.
Did society collapse 149 years before the game began? Because that's what it feels like right now. I'm just gonna make that satirical point right now. Society collapsed a long time ago. Never mind it being set 150 years in the future. Right,
got him.
So you've been put inside of a robot.
Yes, but you have been a robot for some time, it would appear. And the company it's called Integration is this process, and the company that was responsible for it, some sort of militant group or something like that. There's I haven't got that far into the story for it to be properly explained yet, but clearly there is a big bad corporation who are either responsible for this or taking an active role in integrating people, and you are part of a group of outlaws who don't like it, and they're going to try and fight back and provide a sort of a future for humanity, if you will. It's all got its own vernacular and lexicon, and it's very much grounded in its own world that it takes quite seriously. So you inherently take it quite seriously as well, and I like that in games that are, again, talking about Destiny. What turned me off about Destiny is that the world seemed so fascinating, and yet I had no idea what was going on in it.
Yeah.
Whereas this admittedly moves quite fast in the opening 20 minutes. It's just a cutscene that's like, okay, now we've escaped, we're off, and this is the world you're in. But it takes it seriously, and that makes you more likely to take it seriously as well. It just feels far more grounded in reality, even though it's not reality. But it's, as I said, it's a very unique concept. And I think it's come together really well. It looks really good. I like the universe it's set in. I'm looking forward to playing a bit more of it. And it does have a multiplayer as well. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I was not able to play it because by the time we got our review code, they had set multiplayer sessions, and all the multiplayer sessions had gone past. The last one that was available, sadly, was was set at a time that was favourable to American reviewers, and that was at about 5 a.m. for me.
Right.
So unfortunately, I have not been able to play the multiplayer, and the multiplayer servers, from what I gather, won't be live until launch. But there is a mode available for people to play competitively against each other, where each person commands a Gravcycle in various different modes, capture modes and that kind of thing, and then commands their own little squad as well. There's going to be loads of different squads available for multiplayer that you can choose from. You can customize how they look. It looks like there are going to be microtransactions to buy more cosmetic items to fully customize how you look. I've got, unfortunately I've got very little footage of it. I've just got footage of the multiplayer menu, but there is a multiplayer mode available too, should you wish to try that out.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for telling us about that.
Hey, that's okay. It'll be out on the 16th if people are interested in checking it out.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, well, thanks one and all for listening. And stick with us for even more QuipScopes as and when games done come out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm going to do the quips now. You remember the quips that we do? Disintegration, more like really solid product.
Whoa. Oh, I see. It's not disintegrating at all.
No, not at all.
Oh, disintegration. More like for the nation. Like everyone in the whole country is enjoying it. You see?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No, that's a good. I don't think I can do better than that. Let's end with that one.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone.
See you later.